Let's talk new releases, okay? I've done first impressions on all of these so far. These are all brand new 2023 releases, and we've had some pretty good ones so far this year. I've been impressed for the most part. We've had a few that have been just okay, kind of throwaways, ones you can mostly skip past, but that's not what we're focusing on. We're focusing on 7 new fragrance releases that are actually worth picking up and putting some money into, and at least seeking out to try them at the bare minimum. One thing you'll notice, as each year goes by, the price of these at retail goes up. I can remember when I was first getting started, pretty much every major designer retail price was right around 80 to 90. As crazy as that sounds, obviously the Chanel's and Dior's and things of that nature a bit more, but a lot of the others were in that range. Now you're looking at 100 minimum. A lot of these 120, 30, 40, and even beyond. So definitely getting a little bit more expensive as we go. These though do hold up to the price. I'll drop links to these down below. It's going to be at retail, so you're not really going to be saving a whole lot of money. However, if you do want to save money, hit the first link down below and sign up to my mailing list. Anytime anything rare, discontinued, or hard to find comes into stock, I send out an email notification. Anytime a new release like any of these shows up at a discounter for below retail, I send out a notification. Just if you're looking to have first dibs on some of the best deals that you can possibly get in the world of fragrance, get on that list. It's completely free. You won't regret it. Let's get things kicked off with what is currently my newest new release pickup. I've already done a first impressions video that is out. You can go check it out. Prada Luna Rossa Ocean Eau de Parfum. Going into this, I thought it was going to be decent and hopefully better than the Eau de Toilette. That was my mindset. Not that the EDT is bad. It just left a little bit to be desired in some aspects. So I was kind of just bracing to have something mildly better. When I got this one in, and still I feel this way, and I smelled it, I was immediately blown away, and this is 10 times better than I would have ever expected. This one's got woody notes, olibanum, and vanilla. A little bit strange. Doesn't look like a note breakdown that you would attribute to an ocean-named scent. And it also doesn't really compare a whole lot to the Eau de Toilette. You'll notice lack of iris, lack of other fresh notes in general, and neither of them have any sort of sea notes. It's very confusing. I think this was a missed opportunity. I said the same thing in my first impressions. You could have taken this scent right here, created a completely new line in general, or just a completely new Luna Rossa flanker separate from the Ocean's name. Because what's going to happen is people are going to see Ocean, they're going to pass on it because they thought the EDT was generic. This one really is a step above the rest, in my opinion. Really brings something new to the table. Smoky, resinous, sweet, but with a nice twist and a little bit of that kind of blue freshness, but not nearly to the extent of the EDT and others on the market. This is really good. Definitely worth picking up. And performance has also been significantly better than the EDT on my skin as well with this Eau de Parfum. Great one that will do really well once it hits discounters, in my opinion. Next up, it's been a while since I've covered a new one from this line, and to be fair, this line has not done a whole lot for the past several years. It's the CH Men line by Carolina Herrera. This one is the Pasion flanker. That's my butchered, terrible pronunciation of it, but whatever. It's got iris, pink pepper, sandalwood, and a nice bourbon vanilla accord in here. So, you know, for the longest time, they kind of peaked with CH Men Privé, essentially. You know, you've got CH Men and CH Men Privé. Privé has been discontinued, which is a big letdown, and to me, a big mistake, although numbers-wise for the brand, I'm sure it ended up making sense. They're not going to discontinue something that's making them a ton of money, or at least you wouldn't think. So it's sad to see that one go. The original CH Men, you could still get it everywhere. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not going away. But they released some other flankers down the road. CH Men Sport, which I've never even tried. I haven't tried it because the reviews are atrocious on it. It's also super cheap. I should pick it up just to see, but I just haven't. Just hasn't had the best reviews. Going along that, you have some others like this kind of weird looking bottles like Deep Sea or something along those lines. A couple of them, it's really bizarre. Kind of exclusive editions, hard to get. I haven't covered any of those. I don't even have them. So besides from those few anomalies there, they haven't been doing a ton with this line. I'm glad to see like a proper full production flanker release from them because it has been a while. And so this one, they couldn't have done a better job. Yes, it has iris, but they've done it even in a different way than all of the other irises that you know. It's not like Prada L'Homme or Prada L'Homme Intense. It really isn't like Valentino or Dior or Givenchy. This is kind of their own take, and it's a really well done take at that. You know, it's a Carolina Herrera. They also have another really good iris scent out there, Iris Empire. Are there any similarities? Briefly, slightly, I guess I should say, but not enough to where it would be a redundancy issue. This one's more dusty, powdery, less chocolatey and leathery like Iris Empire. Also much more affordable here. With all of that being said, this is a stunner. If you are an Iris fan, there is no reason why you should not at least sample this one. Chances are you're going to love it and you're going to be going for a full bottle. This is an eau de parfum, a little bit more expensive, kind of has a premium look to it as well, gold accenting and nice upgraded presentation. I think once this one hits discounters, it's going to do very well. Hopefully we can get it down to an affordable price where it isn't going to be terrible and people can really get their hands on it, because I can see this one bringing a lot of value to the community. I had to throw this one in. Y Eau de Parfum Intense. I wasn't really expecting to see this, but it showed up, you know, it came out, and of course I had to get it, and it smells really good. You know, this to me is a really well done flanker. The reason why I say this in particular is because when you make the jump from Y Eau de Parfum to Y Le Parfum, there isn't a massive difference. I love Y Le Parfum. I loved it since the beginning. I still really enjoy it a lot. It's one that I wear a ton, along with the EDP. However, again, the difference there is going to be a little bit more subtle. When you go from something like the Eau de Parfum or the Le Parfum to the Eau de Parfum Intense, starting to get a little bit confusing here with all the names, but there's a bigger difference. And primarily what this one does is it solves a problem that a lot of people have with the DNA. You notice when you look at the note breakdown, no apple. They take that sweet apple accord and completely get rid of it. This one focuses even more on the aromatics, more on vetiver, sage, and some patchouli, to give it a richer, even more mature, even more refined, less sweet smell. And for me, that's a really, really well done flanker, because I love the others. I love that sweetness. Sometimes I don't though. Sometimes it's too hot. Sometimes I'm not in the mood. I find that there's just more options when it comes to this, even more versatility in one way or another, which I really like. And I think this one's fantastic. It solves a problem that a lot of people have with the DNA. And I think it's a great, worthwhile release. Great performance, great quality. All of that checks out. It's a really nice premium product, and it will get you great compliments. Next up, we have Azzaro Chrome Parfum. So we have obviously an extreme, we have an eau de parfum, and it was only about time to release a parfum. So this is what we have. It's got sage, fir resin, and bergamot in here. I really like it a lot. I wasn't expecting to, just to be totally honest, because when I got the eau de parfum, I wasn't a fan of it. Still am not. The eau de parfum for me is a complete pass. I just can't get behind it for some reason. There's something off-putting about it that I just don't really enjoy. I would take even the original over the eau de parfum. I would definitely take the extreme over that one. A few others as well. Pure, Chrome Pure is another really solid one as well. The eau de parfum for me is kind of a pass. However, the parfum is a big improvement. It's going to be still very fresh. It's going to have a parfum feel, but ultimately you'll find more depth, more complexity, more of a uniqueness about this one compared to a lot of the others actually. Now at retail it's expensive, you know, it's whatever the price is for these $90, $100, somewhere around in there. So I would say wait until it hits discounters, and once it does, it will be a fantastic summertime pickup. This will end up being, in my opinion, one of the better chrome flankers we've had. Invictus Victory Elixir. Yeah, got to get on that Elixir hype train. And of course, we're going down the rabbit hole, a flanker of a flanker. And I'm okay with it because Victory, the original, is really good. Definitely one of the better Invictus releases that we've had. Elixir takes it even to the next level. So when it comes down to it, Elixir versus the original, I'm picking the new Elixir. I like this one better. This one's got olibanum, vanilla, and amber in here. Very similar note breakdown to the original. They've basically subtracted some notes from the original. Note breakdown significantly smaller. But you do get more of a rich, heavy sweetness out of this. Again, it's one of those deals where it's just more interesting, more pleasing in the sense of a enthusiast standpoint. Now, one of the key differences here between the two, the original Victory, more dusty, powdery from the benzoin. This one pretty much loses that dustiness and just goes in more of a syrupy sweetness. Not in the way of bubblegummy sweetness, more in the way of a richer, heavier, heartier sweetness that you would expect out of a wintertime scent. Little bit out of season for this one. It was released kind of at the tail end of winter. It's been out for a little while now, but as of right now, when you're watching this, probably isn't going to be the one that you'll be super, rushing to get right now as we're moving into summer. But once this one becomes available on discounters, I think it's going to do really well, and it'll be just in time for the fall and winter season. It's really good. I always get excited when I see a new Stronger With You. I've loved this line for a long time, ever since the original, which I never got good performance out of, which bummed me out, but I loved it. They released Intensely, absolutely, and the rest has been history. I've really gone down the rabbit hole, and I love them, Intensely, my favorite. Amber, though, this new one here, is coming in, and it's one that I'm really enjoying a lot as well. This is of the exclusive edition line. So currently there's 3 of them. We've got Stronger With You Amber, Leather, and Oud. Those are the 3 exclusive editions that are generally going to be a little bit more expensive and harder to get. And no surprise, this one's all about the amber. Actually, it's a little bit animalic. I never thought I would say animalic and Armani Stronger With You in the same sentence, but you get it. It's a real nice animalic amber off the top. It does go away though. It does settle down into a sweeter, stickier, more designer level amber scent with the Stronger With You DNA right behind it. So it doesn't go too far from the Stronger With You DNA. That's a gripe that a lot of people have, and I think it's a fine balance that brands really can't win with. Damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Make it too different, then it's not a flanker and it's too different, right? Don't like it. Make it too similar, then it's too redundant. There's a fine line, and I think that can be hard to achieve, and so I think they did a pretty good job here with this one overall. This is actually one that did show up on Fragrance Buy, so before you could even think about getting it at any sort of retail price here in the US or Canada, they got a bunch in for a really good price. I sent out an email, it sold out quick. That's why you want to be on that list, because if you were there and you got that email in time, you're in the club of having this before everyone else. So it's pretty cool. And last up, actually one of the first new releases I believe I got this year, kind of at the very beginning, Boss the Scent Magnetic. I was really excited about this because I love the scent line. It's got Maninka, vanilla, and bran. So, it's using the same note that this line is built off of, the fruity Maninka fruit. The vanilla is a nice syrupy vanilla here. The bran gives it an interesting kind of wheat texture, which is, I don't know, it's what makes this one stand out among all of the others. A lot of them do run similar because the Maninka fruit is so distinct, you can't miss it. And so any fragrance that uses it, especially this variety within this line, there's going to be similarities connected to them. Now, this is important that this is good to me. The reason why is because they're discontinuing these like crazy. Not Magnetic, of course, but the others. Private Accord, Absolute, Intense. They discontinued Boss the Scent Intense. That sucks. A lot of them are going away and getting hard to find. Private Accord pops up every so often. Intense pops up so often. I post those on my mailing list, but they're going away. That sucks. And so what they're going to do is going to continue to make room for new ones so they can keep putting out flankers like this. It sucks to see the old ones go, but as long as the flankers are good, it's kind of just like, okay, whatever. It balances out. And so if they keep putting out good ones like this, I'm not going to be too sad about it. I'm sure this will be discontinued at some point as well, a few years down the road. Calling it now. It's just kind of the cycle. So get this one while you can. You have time though. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. 7 new 2023 releases that are actually worth picking up here. If you can get these at a discount, it's the way to go. Unfortunately, right now, it's a little bit tough. Get on the mailing list. If these do pop up for below retail, I will send out an email for you. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.